on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little transfer news video for you. How are we all doing today? Good to see you. Oh, what a gash day. What a gash day, guys. Let's just kick things off by saying what a gash day yesterday with England, obviously, losing on penalties to Italy. My friends still gutted about it. I mean, today could have been the complete opposite. Could have been a day of joy. Instead, it's a day of mourning, and not just about the football either. Other horrible social issues being brought into context here. Racism, violence. It's just absolute fucking gash. The nation the nation's melted, basically, over this, and it's just a complete bloody shambles. But I just want to start off by saying, we've got a lot of transfer news to get into, but let's just get some love hearts in there, show support for the penalty the takers who stepped up and who missed those penalties, who have received so much freaking abuse. A lot of racial abuse, a lot of disgusting, abhorrent abuse online, and it's just an absolute disgrace, my friend. So let's just unite and stand with people like Saka, who missed the penalties, 19 years of age. I mean, come on, dude. How are we gonna abuse a guy like that? Especially, racial abuse and stuff like that. It's basically just an absolute disgrace, guys. So anybody who's a decent person knows, I think 99.9% of people know that racism is absolutely disgusting. But these players do not deserve, any sort of abuse for stepping up to take a penalty and missing, fighting their hearts out for their nation all summer. Go into the penalties against Italy, a really great side, fighting and back into the end there, stepping up to take it at a young age, like 19 years of age, and having a penalty saved. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, let's get some love hearts in the live chat, my friends. And let's try and be more positive, because this has been a horrible, negative 24 hours. I'm sure you're all feeling pretty low. I'm depressed today, guys. Everybody's depressed, man. It's fucking depressing when you actually think about it. These things don't come around too often, 55 years. But not only that, not only do we lose, but then there's also this horrible negative stuff off the field with our players that we love. Rashford, Sancho, Saka, all these guys being racially abused on social media and stuff. It's a fucking absolute disgrace. So, nobody deserves this. Exactly, Safwan M. And I just wanted to talk about it at the start of the stream because it is important. And people like Rashford, I mean, this sort of stupid stuff. Look at this sort of stupid stuff. So MP Natalie Elphick forced in to climb down after saying Marcus Rashford should have practiced taking penalties instead of playing politics. Shut the fuck up, Natalie Elphick, you absolute bloody melt. Who even are you, love? Does MP stand for massive prick in her case? Because, who even arrives at that sort of a conclusion immediately after that? I mean, what sort of... Gary Lineker responded, he'd have practiced taking penalties. He's a great player and an excellent penalty taker. The true greats of our game have all missed penalties. Also, helping to feed hungry children is not politics. It's just basic human kindness, something this young man possesses in abundance. Stick it up your arse, you stuffy cow. Anyway, let's get on to the news. The Manchester United news. Anyway, how you all doing at the start of the stream tonight, guys? I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us. Get in there, get your thoughts and opinions in throughout. Of course, I will dip in and we'll have a Q&A at the end and stuff. Let me give a shout out to everybody who's in here, actually. We've got Sleaze Gaming, Kayam, Adam Talk Sports, Poisonous Nut, Aaron, The Vutinator, Yashas Archea, Big God Bob, Kayam, David, Hum, Aranad, Rushmano, Shazad, ADV, everybody, thank you very much for getting in. And everybody else, do us a big favour at the start of this stream. Hit that thumbs up button, give it a cheeky little like spike. And get your thoughts and opinions in. Right, okay then, so... Manchester United, obviously, we've got the Jadon Sancho deal agreed, guys. That's basically coming any day, really, now. England have lost we lost in the final on the penalties. We got right to the end of the Euros. I still think, look, Southgate turned me around. He got to the final with England and we lost on penalties to a great Italy team. And people think he should be gone. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life, guys. If he was the Belgian manager and he'd done what he just done, and he's English manager Gareth Southgate, and he's had the World Cup semis and the finals in the Euros, we'd be saying, do you know what? Let's fucking get him. So it's fucking ridiculous to say that anybody else should be the manager of England right now, in my opinion. But anyway, because he's done well, he turned me around, guys. He didn't even lose to Italy in the final. We're not talking about England anymore. Let's fucking move on from that. It's too depressing, right? Okay, so Raphael Varane, guys, lots of reports coming out today that Manchester United have been given permission to talk to Raphael Varane by Real Madrid here officially now. So there's been rumblings for weeks that United have been in discussions with Raphael Varane in terms of bringing contract discussions to a head, basically, and having discussions with his representatives and things like that. There has been plenty of reports over the last couple of weeks that United have agreed personal terms. Fabrizio Romano came out today and said personal terms are not a problem for United, who are always in contact with his agents. United are waiting for Real Madrid's price tag. Madrid will try to convince him, but it's going to be really difficult. So basically, and lots of reports saying that United are close to agreeing personal terms with Rafael Varane, but it's still to match Real Madrid's valuation for the defender. So it's still just, this is all coming out today. There's a tug of war here, but supposedly, look at this. So on Sky Sports as well here, Sky Sports, but they say Rafael Varane, Man United given permission to discuss personal terms ahead of potential move from Real Madrid. United continue talks with Varane over personal terms, with a fee between clubs yet to be agreed. The France international was thought to be open to moving to Old Trafford with his current deal running out in 2022. So supposedly we've got the green light here from Real Madrid to discuss the terms and agree official personal terms, supposedly. Although, don't we have to actually agree terms with the club before any of that stuff gets officially done? So it's just more bollocks here, guys, that's coming out today, basically. But it is more, if you're looking at what's being reported far and wide, then essentially Real Madrid are open to the idea of selling Rafael Varane, and we've been given the green light to officially talk to him and get an agreement reached if we can. So I wish I had more to bring you on Rafael Varane, guys, in terms of Varane, because we want to have an official bid. We want to see some sort of movement. We want to see Manchester United put a bid in. There are some positives, though. Everybody's reporting this. So Samuel Luckhurst says United close to agreeing personal terms with Rafael Varane. On Manchester Evening News, reporting that Varane's currently on holiday, but we are close to agreeing personal terms, and we continue to make progress on the transfer, basically, with Real Madrid. Sources have told the MEN that United are not far off from finalising the 28-year-old's demands and hope to conclude the deal within the next few weeks. Varane's preference is to head straight to Manchester following his holiday rather than have to return to Real Madrid for any pre-season training. Madrid want to sell Varane this summer as he has under a year left on his contract, and they have no intention of allowing him to leave without obtaining a fee. So if you believe the reports, then we're very, very close to getting a deal done for Rafael Varane. It's just a matter of tying up the contract and obviously tying up the amount of money involved here and agreeing the terms with Real Madrid. They want somewhere in the region of £60 million for him, which sounds too much for somebody who's only got a short amount on their contract, but we want to pay something like 40, so meet them in the middle there. Let's get a deal done. But yes, we understand that the personal terms are not an issue. He's not on a great deal of money at Real Madrid. Real Madrid are understood to be still interested in signing him up to a deal, but they haven't actually put an offer on the table that's attractive enough for him. Also, Sky Sports are reporting that PSG are talking to Rafael Varane's representatives, which just is fucking gastastic. But that's just bollocks, in my opinion. And maybe that's just to get more money again from us. This is what happens. The whole PR machine comes out, and obviously the agents get their grubby little fingers in different grubby little pies all over the place. And they get the PR machine going to try and get some more money for the deal. So I don't think that's true. I mean, they've just signed Sergio Ramos, who's on big money. They've already got good players there, like Kimpembe. I don't think they're going to sign Rafael Varane as well. Unless they plan on really doing some mass exodus there and selling a lot of players. They've also signed a lot of players already this summer on big wages. Can they really afford to pay Rafael Varane on top of Ramos and Donnarumma and Wijnaldum and all the players that they've signed? Probably not. But yes, I mean, lots of people reporting that United are not far off from finalising personal terms with Rafael Varane, guys. This is reported as well in Spain. The Rafael Varane case is on standby. If Real Madrid do not receive a bid of a minimum of €50 million, then they will not sell Varane. Manchester United are offering a maximum of €45 million until today. But the most likely scenario is that Varane will join United. Right, guys, let's get in the live chat and see what you think about it. My personal thoughts on this one is, again, okay, there's so many reports today to say that Varane, is close to joining United and all this, but it's no more closer than it was a couple of weeks ago. It's so damn frustrating, guys. It's really quite gastastic. Now, why is that the case? Why has Poisonous not been timed out there? Kayam, I believe that was a mistake, Poisonous Night. You should not have been timed out there. Kayam says you have to agree terms with Varane first. That isn't the problem because terms are fine with Varane and his agent. Madrid are waiting for Varane to say he wants to leave. Well, I mean, it really does depend on the case, obviously. I mean, if you look at the current situations with Manchester United, Sancho, I mean, how many times have they reported before that we'd agreed terms with Jadon Sancho? So you're absolutely right. The terms thing, that doesn't really mean jack shit to me. I'm not interested in agreeing personal terms, to be fair, guys. What I'm interested in is agreeing a transfer fee for a player, and then all the rest of it, obviously, then that actually comes into play. What's the point of having a personal terms agreed like we did last summer with Jadon Sancho, and then it just turns out that no, we don't even go and sign him then. So it's, yeah. Rupert Meadow, how you doing? He says, what is your opinion on Chelsea ready to bid 140 million for Haaland this week, says Rupert Meadow. Okay, so I don't know about that one, my friend. Maybe. It looks like they're going to spend the money, doesn't it, and try and get him in there. I fucking would hate to see Chelsea end up with a great player like Haaland, guys. Thank you very much, Rushmano. Yeah, he says subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much, Rushy. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, guys, smash that like button, hit a thumbs up on it, smash the subscribe, get involved in the live chat. Everybody wants to hear from you in here. Oh, yes, I didn't realise that. Be respectful, Poisonous Night. Yeah, big time. What about our new set piece coach? Yes, I'll share some very good news, my friend. We're going to get into it all in the live show. Aaron, let's talk about Varane. Aaron Gosh says, if we get Varane and a central midfielder like Camovinga or Sal and tie down Pogba for at least another year, do you think we are in contention for a title this season? Yeah, I suppose so. If we got those players, like you said, a central midfielder like Camovinga or Sal, I would probably prefer somebody like a Sal, but that doesn't seem to be like it, like it's materialising at all. I would prefer something like that, though, but there's a very good possibility that United don't end up with any bloody midfielder this summer because you know how much of a bottle job club we are in terms of signing players. And also, there are other clubs interested in the player Camovinga. He's a cheap option. That's why I think we're interested in him, because we want to get Sancho, we want to get Varane, and then that doesn't leave a lot of money left, I don't think, without selling players like Paul Pogba to be able to bring new players in. So I think that's why we want to get Camovinga, but we're not guaranteed to get Camovinga because there's other teams like Madrid, PSG that are also understood to be sniffing around him and interested in signing the guy. Sal's meant to go to Liverpool, exactly, Matt Willis. There's other links there, in my opinion, it's not a strong link. We haven't really seen any real official interest or anything from Manchester United in Sal Niguez. Now, it's a shame because I think he's a really great player. He's 26 and he's obviously ready. He's just on the back of a La Liga win. Thoughts on the game last night? Cuz, for fuck's sake, I don't even want to talk about it, bro. It's an absolute shit show, mate. It's an absolute bloody gash-tastic nightmare, my friend, is what it is. So yeah, Varane is hopefully coming, very, very soon. But the facts are the facts. There's nothing official. We haven't reached an agreement with the club. That's the main thing. Doesn't bother me about personal terms. This could just be a feeling out process by him and his agent. That's exactly what it is, really. Of course, they're just in negotiations to just figure out how much money they can squeeze out of us, how much money they can squeeze out of Real Madrid. If it was really, really super keen on leaving, I think it maybe would have happened already. But because, in my opinion, it's still 50-50. If they come back with a big enough offer to satisfy him and keep him at Real Madrid, then he's going to want to be he's going to want to stay, I think, because he's already at a club. He's won everything there, all the Champions Leagues. It basically affords him everything that he wants, apart from the money that he wants. But if they give him the money that he wants, which they should do, in my opinion, because Ancelotti would be off his tree not to want to keep a player like Rafael Varane at the club, then I think it's 50-50, guys. That's my humble opinion on it. Okay, then. So, let me get back into the live chat here, dudes, before we get on to the next topic. Aaron Homeyard, I have your back, mate. Absolute legend. Shout out to the mods. Get some love hearts in there for the mods. Hey, 63 of you legends in here. I hope you're all recovering from yesterday. What an absolute gash day, guys. Can we get some sad face emojis in the live chat, guys? Absolutely shocking day. ADV says, whatever meat you want, guys and girls. Go that Sunday roast on Monday. You what? Anyway, right, okay, let's get back in there, dude. So the latest transfer news, guys. So Manchester United interested in Varane. Not far off of finalising terms and things like that with the player. Still nothing official between the clubs, although supposedly we've been given the green light to speak to the player from the club here. So he's also talking, his representatives are also talking to PSG, guys. Right, bit of Manchester United news for you then. So we've got a new friendly, pre-season friendly announced versus Preston North End on Saturday, the July 31st at 2 p.m, guys. Nice. We've also got the first game back. Am I right in saying the first game back for pre-season is just on the 25th? No, sorry, the 18th. The 18th. Right, that's right, guys, yeah? So we're back Sunday with a bit of pre-season action. Who's going to be watching the pre-season games? Smash a 69 in the live chat if you're going to be tuning into the pre-season games. I definitely will be. I'll be doing watch-alongs for them on the channel, peeps. So if you're around for the pre-season games, get involved. But there's another pre-season fixture that's been added there, just so you guys know. Yes, okay, on to the next topic then, guys. We have a bit more information on Marcus Rashford here. Marcus Rashford will undergo surgery this week as is expected to miss the first few weeks of the season. So it just goes to show you, if he's having surgery and things like that, really he's just been used a bit too much this last year, guys. Maybe that's why you just have not seen the best from Marcus Rashford in a United shirt towards the end of the season and stuff. And also for England, well, no, actually not for England. He didn't get any bloody game time for England, but maybe that's not why he's been played, because he didn't get, because he's needing surgery, basically, guys. And we've pretty much been pushing him out of necessity for the last 6 months or so, which is a big shame. So it's understood he's going to have some surgery anyway, my friends. I'll give you more information on that as it comes. But yeah, once again, let's get some love hearts in there for Marcus Rashford. It's pretty disgraceful, the abuse that he's received. Not just him, but a lot of players in the England setup. Racial abuse, all sorts of abuse. And, if anybody is a nice person, in the England setup, I believe it's Marcus Rashford. He just seems like a pure soul. He seems like a nice guy, and he's done a lot of selfless things for other people. And you don't do that unless you really care. Even if you're a super rich guy, even if you want to look good in the press, I don't think you do that. I think look at all the rest of. There's a lot of Playboy players. There's I'm not slating anybody's lifestyle, but I'm just saying he chooses to help people, and so. If anybody's deserving of praise and deserving of love right now, it's Mr. Marcus Rashford, guys. So let's get some love hearts in there for Marcus. He's an absolute shining light in this country, guys. I'm proud he's a United player. I'm proud he's an England player. Yes, he missed a penalty. Am I going to hold that against him? Absolutely not. He was brought on cold in a game by, I do think Southgate got it wrong with the penalty takers. Of course I do. It's easy to say that with hindsight. If those guys bang him in the back of the net, then we're not saying that. We're not saying he got it wrong. But history shows that they missed. I do believe he got it wrong. Maybe he could have played, given more experienced players. Obviously, Roy Keane was quite critical of players like Sterling or Grealish and these guys who could have maybe stepped up and had a penalty, more experienced than, say, players like Saka. And I do agree with that to an extent, but obviously it's down to Southgate. I mean, in fact, we've got a tweet here from Jack Grealish who just responded to this from some Kino, which was, he just said, if you're Sterling or Grealish, you cannot sit there and have a young kid go up for a penalty ahead of you. And Jack Grealish actually quoted this tweet earlier today, this morning, and said, I said I wanted to take one. The gaffer has made so many right decisions through this tournament, and he did tonight. But I won't have people say that I didn't want to take a penalty when I said I will. So, fair play to Jack Grealish, so it does sound like, he's essentially what he said there is the gaffer has made so many right decisions through this tournament, and he did tonight, but he didn't on the penalty takers. That's essentially what he is saying there without saying it. So fair play to him, because he says the gaffer has made so many right decisions through this tournament, and he did tonight, but I won't have people say that I didn't want to take a penalty. So, yeah, it seems like Southgate selected the penalty takers for whatever reason. Maybe he did say, who wants to take one? And these guys were like, Saka's gone, yes, me, I'm bang up for this. And he's gone, right, okay then, let's give it you confident lad. I don't actually know, we don't know. But seems like Southgate made the wrong decision with the penalties, guys, doesn't it? But anyway, Rashford undergoing surgery, guys. Jack Grealish, not a happy bunny about being spoken about by Kino in terms of saying if you're Sterling or Grealish, you've got to step up. But in a way, he is kind of right, because these guys, they've been on the pitch as well. I don't really like the idea of a player coming on and not having a touch of the ball, really, and just going to take a penalty in a massive moment. I know it's just a penalty. I know you have your set-piece specialist. I know you have your dead ball specialist and all that, and that is true. But still, though, I think it helps just to be in the game a little bit. to be psychologically, mentally in the game, involved in the game a little bit, you know, to prepare yourself for that. But that's just speculation, to be fair. Okay, so let's get in the live chat again, see what you legends think about this. Poor Saka, says Big God Bob. Absolutely, man. Yeah, be nice, Poisonous Nut. Don't call names to the mods, mate. My boy, hey, John Anderson. How you doing? Over to John Anderson. Good to see you, mate. What's going on? Hello. Yashash Archea says, one of the channel member legends says, do you think signing Varane, Camovinga and Pogba is enough to challenge for the title if City buy Kane and Grealish and Chelsea buy Haaland? I mean, not really. I'm going to be totally honest with you guys, because City have won it 3 out of 4 years. They've got a really experienced coach. They know how to win. Yeah, okay, they've lost a big player like Aguero, but if they did get, as you say, if they did get Kane, if they did get Grealish already added to their great squad, then they've just got stronger. So from their position last year, they've just got stronger. We need to get stronger too. And of course, it's not just about players, it's also about coaching. It's also about mentality and grinding games and winning results and being consistent. And it's not just about who's got the best players. There's a lot of different aspects that go into it, obviously, from a coach to get the best out of his team. So it's definitely possible to challenge for the title, but I just believe it's going to be really hard to win the league. Now, challenging for it, though, is something that we should be aiming to do, absolutely, and ultimately winning it is what we should be aiming to do. But if we don't win it, because we've lost by a few points to a really good City team, I'm not going to say, oh, Solskjaer out or he's had a shit season. But I do think the minimum target now, if we were to spend and buy all those players, as you say, and strengthen and the problem areas, I think we should be minimum asking for a title challenge, really. That's what we want, that's what we want. And he's obviously got to step up to the pressure of Manchester United now. He's had a couple of seasons at the club, and in my opinion, he's done a great job. But if he's going to be the long-term manager of United, we are going to have to see consistency and improvements and just progress. It doesn't have to be a lot of progress. Like I just said, I don't expect us to necessarily win the league, guys. I think we're asking too much. Even if we sign Varane, Sancho and Camovinga, all these guys, even if we sign them, we're asking too much, because there's other teams that finished ahead of us just last season who are also going to strengthen. And then there's teams that finished behind us, such as Chelsea and Liverpool, who are also going to strengthen quite a lot this summer. And so the challenge is on. It's going to be a difficult season, guys. Every season is now. There's like six teams, really, 6 or 7 even, that can challenge for the title in this Premier League. It's a pretty awesome league. But yeah, your cities of this world are going to be up there. Liverpool's going to be up there, you would think, this season, without the injury issues they had of last year. FST Freestylers, hello there, bro. He says, any news on Camovinga? Let me give you the latest on Camovinga then, dude. So, I mean, no, to be honest with you. This is the latest I've got. Manchester United are targeting moves for Camovinga. Reporting that we are prioritising top-class centre-back in Varane and also Camovinga as Solskjaer's top targets. United have been strongly linked with him, obviously, in the last few weeks. The current situation there is just simply the same, really. Rennes, they're trying to get as much money for him as possible this summer. They know his contract runs out in a year, so he's going to be off on a free. If they're not careful, they've got to cash in. They're not going to convince him to stay, I don't think, unless they really do want to break the bank and offer him a big contract, which I don't think they will, because he can be, offered more money elsewhere. And also he can just be afforded like better challengers in better leagues and with a better team than staying at Stade Rennes. No disrespect to any Rennes fans out there or whatever, great team, what I'm saying, probably. But the point I'm saying is, they're going to struggle to keep hold of him. They won't sign him up to a new contract. This summer, he will be on the move, in my opinion. The problem is there's other clubs that are interested in signing the guy. He's got a valuation of somewhere in the region of about 25 to 30 million euros, which is not a lot of money because of his contract length and his age. But he is one of the brightest young talents in world football as far as 18-year-old players go, man. I mean, he's already in the France setup. He's definitely a great young talent for anybody to sign. So what does that bring with it? It brings competition. There's going to be Real Madrid. There's going to be PSG. There's lots of clubs that are interested in signing Eduardo Camavinga, guys, because he's a bargain at this price. He's young. He's exciting. He's going to be one of the best players in the world, potentially, in the future. I say, potentially, because he's not guaranteed to be one of the best players in the world, but he has all the potential at 18 years of age to go and be, in 5 years' time, an absolute beast of a midfielder in world football. But that's just potential. There's a lot that could go wrong. But either way, yeah, that's the current situation, really. We're understood to be, heavily linked with the move. Nothing official has taken place yet in terms of agreeing a deal with Rennes. There's other clubs that are interested, so they're just trying to bide their time a little bit and wait for offers to come in and try and push the price up and choose the best offer that comes. And obviously the player's going to have a factor in it as well. But if you ask me, I don't see if there's necessarily any history there with any of the clubs necessarily. He's a French lad, obviously playing for Rennes. I don't know his personal interest, but I don't think he's a United fan or a Madrid fan or whatever. I don't know what his personal preferences are. But if one of those top clubs comes in for him, it'll probably go to the one that offers him the best deal, the biggest role in the club. Maybe United would offer him a decent role in the club, especially if somebody like Pogba is to leave. But we just don't know, guys. I mean, people are saying, oh, he's going to be the next Kante. But actually, if you look at his stats and sort of the type of player he is, he's more box to box. He's attacking guys. He's creating chances. He's taking people on. So, he's exciting, guys. I really like the idea of him. I hope we go in for him. But there's nothing more I could give you there in terms of a new movement. I would love to be able to tell you, yes, we have put an offer in, but we haven't. But we haven't, guys. So I'll give you the latest on that as and when it comes in. Obviously, though, when it does, you will be the first to know. Nice. Yes, we may get some updates throughout the show. Beautiful stuff. Okay then, guys. So just another thing. Oh, actually, hang on. Let me get back into the live chat before I go to the next topic. Hey, there's 85 of you legends in here. Let's get 85 likes on the stream. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. It's free, and that'll give us a helping hand on YouTube there. And you can Zinedine Zidane headbutt it if you want. Matey Flying Pig, hello to you too. Rupert Meadow, apparently Camovinga wants a PSG move. That's why nothing has really happened with Manchester United there. Well, okay, that's a theory. And like I just said, there's going to be a bunch of clubs interested, and we don't know what his affiliations are and what his interests are. But being a French lad, yeah, if PSG were interested in you, and you look at the stars that are at PSG. I mean, imagine being an 18-year-old French lad playing for Rennes. He's obviously come up only the last few years. He's come to this level here. Where he's on the radar of top clubs. So he's gone from being a teenage young footballer with a dream to now being linked with clubs like United, Real Madrid, PSG. And if you're him, can you imagine going to play in Paris with Neymar and all these guys? I mean, yeah, you would love it, wouldn't you? So yeah, that's definitely a possibility. That's why I'm saying, look, the Camovinga deal looks good for United. He's understood to be interested in a move to United. We are supposedly leading the chase for him in terms of interest, but nothing official has taken place yet. So until Stade Rennes receive something official, have a bit more on it in order to sink their teeth into, then what's the point of even talking about it, really? Because we aren't putting a bid in for him yet. Oh, United are a bunch of idiots. We should just be trying to get this business done right now. This is the time to do it now. Pre-season starts soon, guys. Players are back training and stuff. Pre-season's underway. What we need to do now, the Euros are over, is get players in the door in the next 2 weeks. 2 weeks, guys. Give them games in pre-season. Give them time to adapt to their new surroundings, the new city, the new team, the coaching staff, the system. Everything. They need to time. You can't just slot Varane in there on deadline day and expect him to be a boss, or Camovinga, some young lad, expect him to come in and they need time to bed in and have game time and gel with their teams. It's very important. Last year we shat the bed with pre-season. It was one of the worst pre-seasons in living memory for me. We just failed to do. I know there was obviously a tricky year in conditions and stuff, but we just failed to plan for the season effectively whatsoever. We had a couple of games and it was just crap. It was a really bad start. And we also didn't get the players in that we needed early doors. Okay, we got Donny, who didn't play. What we did do, though, is get Cavani and Varane right at the end of the window. And that just is not the best formula, guys. That's not going to give you the best start to the season. That's dumb. What you need to do is do what Chelsea did last season. They signed Buddy Ziyech up in May and announced they'd be signing on the day your window opens. And then they signed Werner and Havertz, and the list goes on. They and Thiago Silva and stuff. They got their business done early doors, and that is what you need to do, I think, to have a good season. Now, Chelsea didn't necessarily have a good season, but they did do good business in the window early. We got 69 likes on the stream. Thank you, G-Wolf United. Beautiful. Irfin Kirdali says, what about Van der Beek now? Okay, well, there's some links with Van der Beek being used in a swap deal to Real. That's BS, in my opinion. I think that, look, if I was Donny van der Beek, I would definitely be having some conversations with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer this summer and saying, look, boss, am I going to get the time next summer? Am I going to get more games? Am I going to get at least, double the amount of games or triple the amount of games that I played? Because I barely played a tour boss and I want to play. And if the answer to that is no, then I would say, you know what, I'm going to have to, can you find me a new club boss? I want to go. It's as simple as that, really. He might want to be at a big club like United, but he needs to be a decent part of the team. He needs to get games and have opportunities to develop and get that experience. He's basically just had a year of stagnation at United. He's done nothing at United. And it's not really his fault. I mean, he's been chucked in a few games. He's not really taken his opportunities. He's looked good in a few other games. He's not really been given many opportunities. So I feel for the guy. But he's at a crossroads here, man. He needs to decide and had that conversation with Solskjaer, and Solskjaer needs to decide, is he going to be part of the squad? We have an aging Matic who's going to be going at some point. Pogba's future is all up in the air. I mean, there's so many balls up in the air, guys. It's like, what the hell's going on? We need to figure out one before we can figure out the other. So Paul Pogba, if he goes, there's probably lots of opportunities for Donny van de Beek at the club, and Paul Pogba might go, because Paul Pogba has a year left on his contract. He's not signed a new deal yet at United. We are in discussions. If he's asking for too much money, and a bid comes in from another club that's a decent amount to sell him now, we might cash in. I think we'll probably sign him up to a new contract. That's my personal belief. I think it's more likely we sign him up than we don't. But if we don't, then Donny van de Beek may be a much more needed player at Manchester United. But if Pogba stays, then I just can't see how Donny's going to get much in the team really still. He's not a defensive boss. He might be decent as like a deep sort of, pass master playmaker, but still he doesn't provide what you need defensively as much as, a player like Matic or Fred. We need, in my opinion, somebody in that position who's better than those guys still. So Donny's not the answer for that role. And then does Donny dislodge Pogba from a box-to-box role? Or, you've got McTominay there as well. I mean, maybe you could argue that. But I'm really not really too sure that Donny is going to get much opportunities even if the midfield stays as it is, let alone if you add Eduardo Camavinga into that mix. So in my opinion, it's quite likely that Donny does actually go this summer. But it's also, he may well get a bigger role in the club if Pogba goes or something else happens in the club. Or he may have a conversation with Solskjaer, and Solskjaer says to the guy, look, force your way into the team, son. I'll give you 5 games. I'll give you 5 games, mate. Prove yourself. And if you haven't had a boss 5 games, then you never play for me again, son. That kind of situation. Obviously, you can't say that, but I'm just capping here. Anyway. Hey, Vutinator says our pre-season was our first 3 games in the Premier League. Yeah, unbelievable. We had some crummy home game. No, some crummy game at Villa Park, didn't we, against Aston Villa, which we lost 1-0, right? It was just gash. Donny played in the middle, actually. He had a decent game. I remember watching it. He had a decent game. But other than that, I don't really think we had much of a pre-season. I think maybe we had one other little kickabout behind closed doors. But it was an absolute shambles of a pre-season, yeah. And I know there was other extenuating circumstances that made it difficult for us to have a normal preseason. But even so, it was just a very bad preparation in terms of the preseason fixtures and also the signings being made right at the end of the window. Those 2 things combined for us having a shit start to the season. And United did have a shit start to the season, guys, remember? We had a bad start to the season and people calling for Ollie out right at the start of the season, peeps. And then we turned it around, and then by Christmas, we were, by January, top of the league. But we did have a bad start to the season. Maybe that could have been the difference between us challenging and not challenging if we'd have just started the season well. So that's the difference. Hey there, Corrupt Recordings. He says, how many signings do you think we'll actually get? Sancho, Varane, and question mark. I personally would like Rice. Okay, I was actually quite impressed with Rice over the summer tournament, and I was impressed with Calvin Phillips too. I actually would take the Yorkshire Perlo, guys. I think he's decent. Honestly. You know what? I'm going to have a little poll in the live chat for fun, guys, for the midfield position as well. Which midfielder should United sign? I'm just going to put a few in there. Because I do like Rice, but he's a lot of money. He's homegrown. He's going to cost some foolish valuations of 70 million quid for a player like that's ridiculous. Can't pay anywhere near that. The only good thing about this whole situation with Rice and our interest in him, it is kind of likely because we do have Jesse Lingard, and Jesse Lingard seems like he will be leaving. He may well stay, but it seems like he could be used in a make-weight deal for Declan Rice at West Ham, because he is a £20 million player, and that makes the deal for Rice a lot less. And it might be something that you could bring in. So that is possible, but we haven't seen any more movement or anything official in terms of interest from United. It's all just speculation that Solskjaer, is very interested in Declan Rice right now. But you never know. There could be some more movement on that soon. I think it's a position in the team that we need to address. So here we go, guys. So, yes, indeed, he's a great shout, Shaz. And unfortunately, he's just unrealistic, I think. It's just not going to happen, I think. I mean, a lot of these, because it's just too much money, Leicester don't have to sell players. They charged us 80 million for Slabbington Maguire. Which midfielder should United sign? So, I'm going to put a few in there. Okay. I need one more. Kessie or Camovinga, yeah, okay. Rice is overpriced, says Kayam. He's definitely overpriced, mate. Yeah, I can't see how anybody would think it's a good idea to pay anywhere close to 60 or 70 million pounds for Declan Rice. You have to pay that homegrown premium, don't you? Because he's an English player for an English team, to take him from another team, and because he's registered in your squad as a homegrown player, you've got to pay just a premium for it. It's absolutely gashtastic. But yes, there's a few players that are linked to the club right now, but it's just the most realistic is Camovinga, and I think it's because United have a certain budget. Solskjaer's working within a certain budget here. You're hearing about the Sancho deal for £73 million. There's talks of Varane. Let's just say £50 million for Varane if we can get that deal over the line. Well, that's 123 million right there. There were talks at the start of a window. We had a budget of 150 million this summer. If you do the math, that leaves 27 million there for Camovinga, which just fits inside that budget just about. If we could get him for that, or, with add-ons and things like that, it's possible. So that's why I think the Camovinga deal is being talked about now more so than anything, because we would probably have to do other business getting rid of players to generate some cash to sign another big expensive player like a Rice or something like that, in my opinion. Whereas Camavinga's within the budget right now. So it depends on what Solskjaer wants to do or what offers come in from other clubs. If there's a big offer from, Tottenham for Tony Martial, then, maybe we would be looking at signing some other players as well then. But I think he's basically been given 150 million this summer. We're going to sign Sancho. We're trying to sign Varane. And if not Varane, we have to move on to a different centre-back option. But we're trying to sign Varane for somewhere in the region of 40 or 50 million. And then that leaves 30 million-ish to get the Camavinga deal done. So it does make sense. It fits within our budget. It may not be a true full-on assault on the transfer window like Chelsea did last year, which in my opinion we should do. Try and get that right back in. Try and get a couple of centre mids in, you know what I mean? Like a defensive one, and maybe, well, not necessarily a couple, but a good defensive midfielder, and then maybe address the Pogba situation. If he's going, then we need to get another one in. Or, sign him up to a new deal and just sign a proper good defensive midfielder. And then the centre-back position as well. Raphael Varane is a huge, huge necessity. Okay, so hang on. Let me just put in the live chat this poll anyway. Okay, so go on then. I'll put Ndidi in there. Screw it, because I can't think of another one. There we go. So have a vote in the poll, guys. It's in the live chat, if you could. I'm going to have a vote as well. So yes, out of those players, it's pretty, they're all semi-realistic, I suppose. I don't know about the Phillips thing. That's just one I've plucked out the air, really. That's one I've plucked out the air because I think he's had a good tournament. I think he would be somebody that United might look at. I don't think he's absolutely, mint or anything, but I think he had a mint tournament, and I liked his fight and his passion out there and what he did for the team and his work rate. And I did think overall he had a really good tournament. So I was impressed by the guy. Anyway, hang on a second. So I'm going to have a vote here, though. Which midfielder should United sign? Okay, well, I would vote. Out of those, it would be Ndidi for me. But it's not as realistic as any of the other ones. Camavinga's winning at the moment, and that seems to be the most realistic because it fits within the budget, guys. Yes, Big Gob, United will always have a gash start to the season under the Glazers, Pig. Yes, this is true, mate. Absolute shite, aren't they? They don't seem to get the business in early because they're just too concerned about the amount that they're paying for these players. So they spend all summer long, like they did with Tellez, trying to get as much squeezed off of these deals with these teams as possible. They did it with Bruno Fernandes as well. That took an age to get that deal done. They got him for a really cheap price for the player that he is. They could have paid a little bit more and got him a lot sooner, though, and we'd have had the Portuguese Magnifico a lot sooner. It's a disgrace. 40 million for Rice is if you offset Jesse. Yeah, that sounds about right to me. I value him. Well, I don't even value him at that much, but based on his valuations, £60 million. But you wouldn't want to pay £60 million. But if you're giving him Jesse and £40 million, then yes, I think that is a good deal for all parties. It makes sense. They're getting a good whack, and they're getting another good player that's been proven for them in the system for a good amount of the season last year. On our way to 100 likes, guys, do us a favor, smash that thumbs up on it. Get involved as well. Give me all your thoughts and opinions. And also smash that subscribe. We're on our way to 41,000 subscribers now, dudes. Hey, I've got to get that 40k special video coming out in the next couple of days as well. So, yes, keep a look out for that. That is coming, guys. I'm not forgotten about that. That's coming. The studio tour and stuff. Cribs. Piggy Cribs. Anyway, you voted for Camovinga. Did you, Shazad Ahmed? Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. He's 18 and stuff. But what I want to readdress is the point that Camovinga is not the answer to our immediate problems, though. You know, in my humble opinion, he's not. I think in the future, yes. But I think that you have to look at other more experienced players. Somebody like a Rice, who we're talking about here to maybe come in and do more of a job for us right now. This is a kid. This is an 18-year-old. It's very rare that an 18-year-old is good enough to come and slot into United's midfield week to week and boss the Premier League. So he's going to there's going to be an adaptation period. There's going to be a growing process. There's going to be a development phase for Camovinga, and it's going to take time. It's going to be like Amad Diallo. Oh, yes, we're all so excited about the prospect of Amad Diallo. We paid 40 mil for the guy. It's a lot of money. We obviously are really, really rating him. The club, the coaching staff, the scouts, everybody who was involved in that transfer really rate him, obviously. And he is part of the future, but he's not being chucked in there as the main starter, since we've had him hardly at all, because you've got to bring him on gradually. You can't just expect him to be that ready-made player right now. He's got to learn, he's got to adapt, he's got to develop and get all the different facets to his game polished so he can actually come and be a top-quality player for us. So I do think that, you're going to see Diallo play this season. I do think you are. He's going to deputise for Sancho over on that right-hand side. I think he will. But he won't play, all the games. He won't play anywhere near enough all the games. He'll just play sporadically as a sub here and there in cup games, in lesser fixtures. And that's probably what should happen for Camovinga too, in my opinion. Okay, if he is good enough, I would love it if he did burst on the scene. Some players, they come on. Rooney was just a complete menace as a teenager when he was 17, 18. He's a menace. So, some players are good enough, and he might well be that player. So I hold out hope that if we sign Camovinga, he would be a top don for us. But I also have to admit that I don't think he's ready right now for the week-to-week smash and grab that is the Premier League. Yes, Kay Singh says everyone's still pissed from yesterday. Chill Winston. It is gash, mate. It is horrible. Yeah, everyone's still pissed off, dude. Jeremy Doku. Next, Sancho says Eros BVB. I respect you, Mr. Eros. How are you doing today? What do you think the situation is with Haaland then at Chelsea there, Eros? Do you think you're going to keep him another year? Because it seems like Chelsea are going to try and pursue him still this summer. I hope that United go in for him in 1 year's time, because I think he is the next beast goal scorer of the future, whether it's your Zlatan type player or your Cavani type player or your Falcao type player, could have that sort of a career where he's just one of the best strikers in the world for the next decade, just smashing it up. So, yeah, I do believe that that if Chelsea pay the money, surely, which they have a track record of doing, then they could get the deal done this summer. But I hope it doesn't happen. We have a transfer update on Camovinga here. Thank you very much, Rushmano. Nice, mate. Let's go and check this out. Thank you very much, bud. So we got a Sancho update, dude. Nice. Okay, guys. So here we go. So this is from a source we got here. Eduardo Camavinga will be leaving Rennes. Stella, his English agency, would very much like him to move to England and Manchester United. Camavinga seems to prefer PSG. I would not really want to go to England, but things can change so fast. Yeah, okay. So somebody did mention in here earlier that that they'd heard that Camavinga would be interested in PSG, and here's another source backing that up. So yeah, like I mentioned, Camavinga, because of where he's from, he's obviously in France, because of the players that he could play with at PSG. Think about the star players that are at PSG, and you're going to have success in your home nation, and they're going to win the league every year, aren't they? I know they didn't last year; they bottled it to Lille. Pochettino effect, but no, they should be challenging. They should be winning it every single year and challenging in the Champions League as well. So it's an attractive proposition, and they pay well, don't they? They pay well. Okay, so we have an update also here from Fabrizio Romano in regards to Sancho. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Sancho anyway, in regards to when his medical may be and all this sorts of stuff. But let's just read this update here. So Jadon Sancho's Manchester United medical will be in some days. Sancho will go on holiday first, following the end of the Euros. And this is from Romano on Twitch just now. So, yeah, nice one. That is a very, very good positive news, guys. Sancho's on his way. Come on, let's get a cheeky little here we go. Hashtag Sancho incoming. Sancho's coming home. He's coming home. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I can't sing that tune right now. He's coming home. Sancho's coming home. Shut up! Anyway, Sancho is coming to United, guys. It seems like in the next few days. So, medical... or not in the next few days, I should say. He's going on a short holiday, and then it will be some days, a few days after, after that holiday, I'd imagine it will get done and dusted. So the fee and the everything's agreed. Everything's been agreed here, guys. The fee between the two clubs. It's just a case of having the medical, crossing the T's, dotting the I's, getting all the final paperwork completed and finished. And then Sancho will be unveiled as a Manchester United player officially, holding the shirt with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, probably in conjunction with the new shirt release. You know what I'm saying, guys? Oh yeah, you can see it coming. So, but anyway, or, close to it. But basically, yeah, Jadon Sancho is just a matter of time before he's unveiled as Manchester United player, guys. Give it a week, probably be announced, maybe a little bit longer, but it's just a matter of time, really. We're going to want to get him in as soon as possible to have that preseason with us. That's so important. But you've got to give this guy a break now. Think about it, he's coming in for scrutiny, from totally wrongly, from idiots out there who are abusing him online right now today. It's looking disgusting, and, mentally that can't be a nice thing to deal with. But not only that, he's receiving that. I mean, I feel for these guys, I really do, guys, because especially when it's playing for England, right? Playing for your country, trying to represent your country. They're not out there getting paid 300k a week to play for England. They're playing for England and representing England because they want to play for England. That is the facts of national football, and that's why I love international football. Because, yeah, they do get paid to play, but it's just pales in comparison to what they're actually getting. They're playing because they want to play and fight for England and win things for their country. And so they're out there, you can say what you want about prima donnas and all these kids are on 160k a week and all that. That's not their fault. They may be super lucky or fortunate, or they may have worked ridiculously hard to get there. And that's the system, and that is the supply and demand of football. That's the money involved in it. Don't hate them. Don't hate the player. Hate the game. Literally, don't hate the player. Hate the game. And they've tried to, playing like Sancho has obviously tried to win for England. He's not even played throughout the tournament, really, and then he's been chucked in, missed a penalty, he's getting abused. He needs some time, guys, after all that, to just have a break, to just mentally prepare for this new season at United. If he was just to come in straight away from a big loss in the final, that's going to be emotionally devastating to anybody. You saw him crying his eyes out at the end of the game. It's going to be emotionally devastating to anybody, that. Us fans have been bloody shedding tears. So imagine if you're the player on that pitch who's got this golden opportunity to cement your first national trophy in 55 years for your country, and you miss your penalty. Can you just imagine how you would feel, guys? I think I would want the ground to open up and swallow me up if that was to happen, guys. So let's just get some bloody love hearts in there again for Jadon Sancho and the rest of the lads who missed these penalties. But Sancho needs a break. These players need a break. There needs to be a little bit of time for healing. Obviously, if you've lost the final of England for England, you're going to be devastated. You don't want to just sign for Man United right now holding the shirt. Hi, guys. Yeah, I mean, obviously he's going to be very happy, but he needs time to get over it, guys, what I'm saying. Anyway, so, yes, let's get in the live chat, see what you peeps think about this whole Sancho situation. Thank you very much for the live update there, Mr. Rushy. I appreciate you, dude. What a legend. Okay, then. Dizzy Red Devil, how's it going? He says, Sancho, it's about time. He's coming. JS7 says the Vutinator. Yes. Best of all the games on PlayStation says, what? No one Man United are bad, Liverpool are better. You will never walk alone. Oh, really? Well, you finished lesser, but down below us last season, mate, because you were gash. Simon Cowie says, Sancho will come in and stick their fingers up to them racist twats by showing them up on the pitch. Great shout, dude. Yeah. I mean, I think this is very important for all reasonable folk now, is just to get behind these guys who have been racially abused and to not tolerate any sort of racism. If you see anything online, report it. Make sure you do report it. And there's got to be more done. I think we need to get more government petitioning done in order to increase the pressure that's put on social media companies to have accountability, to have verification. So if these people choose to be racist online and break the law and be horrible and abuse somebody, which is against the law, guys, it is against the law, then they can be punished for it. And I don't think those punishments should be 20 hours community service. No, I think it should be a fucking nasty punishment, mate. I do. A nasty punishment. You know, something that they definitely regret. Because, you know, I mean, maybe some of them can't change, but hopefully you can change some of them, guys. And I think that is, you know, it's all about education as well. Not just, you know, there's racist, vile twats out there, right, guys? But if you just, I don't know, if you just ignore them or if you silence them, I don't necessarily think they're going to stop being racist, vile twats. I think there's got to be a level of social education, of social proactiveness here to try and actually combat the problem here and make them realize how stupid it is to be racist towards somebody because of the color of their skin. So that's my personal opinion on it. Anyway, guys, I think, yeah. Okay, so yeah, exactly. That's right. Simon Carey says it's time to ban them Muppets for life and social media step up and wise up. Football is for everyone, no matter their race, religion, or colour. So right. And this is what social media companies need to do. They need to step up now. I think there's too many excuses now. They've had their time to address it themselves, and they're not. I think there should be government legislation put in place to make these social media companies have accountability. Okay, you can't get every nation to agree to this, but if Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, if they all want to operate within the UK and have people with UK profiles, then they should have to have verification, and that should go for every country that wants to have that too. I'm not expecting every government to want to do that, but I think our government should do that in this day and age, man. How is it okay that there can be anonymous racism directed at public figures online in this day and age? It's a disgrace. I mean, it shouldn't be allowed. And the only way that you're going to stop these social media companies from doing it is by forcing them with legislation. Because if you don't, then they're going to lose money. They know if they stop having this platform where, you know, they can have people set up anonymous accounts and they will lose money. They will lose ad revenue. They will lose accounts. People go over to different platforms where there is more hate speech and more freedom of hate speech or whatever, and they will lose people. And so therefore they will lose money. And then all they give a shit about is money. They don't give a shit about social impact, people being affected by this, people's lives being torn apart, people being mentally, upset, or even to the point where, you know, let's be fair, social media has caused a lot of people killing themselves, suicides, very real thing. People getting harassed and abused online by people for, you know, well, it doesn't matter what it's for. It's just there's no comeuppance, there's no comeback for these people who are allowed to have that horrible voice. And in my opinion, you know, look, I agree with platforms having freedom of speech. I'm about freedom of speech, but when it comes to abuse and racial hatred and just horrible abuse and things like that, there's got to be a line, guys. You can't tolerate these things on your platform. So these companies, I think, are a disgrace for not already having done this, and they should be forced to. Exactly, Honey Badger. He says, if you can write algorithms to sell me shit online and see what page I visited, you can weed out these assholes. Yeah, exactly. They could just spend. There's so much more money they could spend in order to combat this problem. Or, as we've just discussed, what they could do is just make everybody verify. Now, a lot of you would be going, yeah, oh yeah, okay, we don't want to verify. This isn't an Orwellian state. Oh, fuck this, what's this, Big Brother? Now you want to put a microchip in my arm and get your fucking tinfoil hats off, mate. This is about, what have you got to hide on social media then? And if you're not a horrible little twat, then what have you got to hide on social media? You don't actually have to tell anybody your name, by the way. You can still be anonymous on social media. This is just a verification process I'm referring to here. You don't have to put your public details, name and address out there online. No, you can still be Billy Big Bollocks 101 at fucking Twitter. The point is you just got to verify that profile with an actual ID, government ID, to then be able to use the platform. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying, you know, everybody should have access to your personal information. No, what I'm saying is you should have to verify your account in order to, not just a fucking telephone number. I'm talking about an actual document here that says who you are. And if you're going to have a voice online, then if you are going to have free speech, if you want to use your free speech for vitriolic racial hatred, then you can say what you want, but you're accountable for that prick. That's my personal opinion. Okay. Yes, that's right. Okay. Kate Cadet, how you doing today? You feeling all right today, mate? He says, if you want the system to change as regards to social media, then boycott it. I'm happy to boycott Instagram. That's a fair point as well. That is a very good, that is a very, very good point. I mean, me personally, though, I mean, you know, my life is on social media. This YouTube is a social media platform. So if I boycott it, I'm going to have to go back for work and do Amazon tomorrow. You know what I mean? So I would love to do that. But in one regard, I can't. But I guess other people can. But I actually, you know, YouTube is a social media platform if I boycott it. But YouTube's just as bad, mate. YouTube, you know, there's lots of different, or you know, maybe not just as bad, because they do obviously get rid of and they do hide things. In fact, YouTube is kind of being talked about for censorship too much, because they like censor things like, I don't know, about bloody flat earth or whatever. You know, they will censor a whole bunch of things, whereas, you know, where they actually don't necessarily, the free speech is a grey area on YouTube, to be fair. But I think they do a better job of it than places like Twitter and Instagram. The difference is YouTube as a social media platform is different, because it's okay, you can go on people's pages and comment on them, but it's not like a direct, it's different. It's not like you're going on Instagram and direct messaging somebody so they read a hateful message. That is a big problem that they need to address, and they're not doing it, are they? Hey, what's up there, Blue Clowns TV? How you doing today, my friend? Eddie O2's in here too. What's good, dude? He says, just tuned in, Pigo. Nice one. Defo agree with that process. Thank you, Eddie. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, some people will have a problem with the privacy issues here. Why should a company have all your data? I get that. And I do understand that and verifying, but what do you have to hide? What do you have to hide? Nobody's allowed access to it, you know, apart from, you know, I guess the key verification people within this new team that will be set up. And they obviously have to be ridiculously trusted. It effectively needs to be in a super secure cyber vault. You know what I'm saying here? But the point I'm making is, like, it's not that hard for these companies to do that. The problem is, for them, they would just lose numbers, and they don't want to do that because they're scum and they just think about money. Yeah, G-Wall says it's time to go Liam Neeson on their asses and find them 5k to every single one of them, mate. Mate, dude, 5k, I mean, you know, I'd give him prison time, mate. I'd give him a bit of prison time too. I'd give him fucking dripping for a month in a prison and say, hey, have some of that, you racist fuck. Now, do you wanna come out and be racist still? No, but also at the same time, a rehabilitation process, trying to actually educate people. Sometimes I think racism is often like learned. It's not, you know, I think it's like sometimes you might have racist parents who've raised you to be racist, and then you're a racist. But maybe you don't really want to be a racist, but you've just got like ingrained views from your racist parents or influences around you. I think you can change somebody from being a racist person to being a non-racist person. I honestly, truly do believe that. So not everybody. I think there's just some horrible people out there who hate people for whatever reason. But I truly do believe that you can do some good there with those people. But they should be punished. They should absolutely be punished. But at the same time, just punishing them is okay. But you also need to educate them at the same time. Anyway. Thank you, Shazad Ahmed. I appreciate you, bro. Vincent Buddha says, Pig, I've been discriminated for having a disability, but what then people say to I just ignore it because their reaction. Vincent Bullock, mate, I think it's a fair point you bring up. I think it's it's one of those topics that's not discussed. People with disabilities, mate. People they don't get a fair crack at the whip, really. In my opinion, there's not. That's what I mean. People have got too many bloody hang-ups and issues, and there's just nasty people out there, isn't there? There's just nasty people, mate. It's bad. Anyway, sorry, I've got sort of off the track here. We got sort of off the track talking about social media and stuff, but there was a point to it. It's because these lads have been getting abused online and stuff, and it is a disgrace. Okay, so United Zone. United Zone with a report here just said United. Oh, not United Zone. What am I talking about? It's Fabrizio Romano here. Fabrizio Romano tweeted about it. It's just reported. Don't worry. It's Manchester United have started the process to extend Luke Shaw's contract, says Fabrizio Romano just today now. So Luke Shaw, new contract at Manchester United incoming. We all know that would be the case. Also, Bruno Fernandes is understood to be soon in negotiations for a new contract at United, based on his role at the club and how good he is and the impact and the influence he has on the team and the little amount of money he's actually on. It's rumoured he's on 160k a week, which is tiny. Pogba's contract is on 350 right now. He wants 450 supposedly. If that's the case, it's ridiculous. We need to address these contract issues with these players. Luke Shaw, guys, let's just get some love hearts in there for Luke Shaw. Even though we lost the final, right, on penalties, and I still say penalties because we didn't lose the game. We just lost the match on penalties, but we didn't lose the tie. It was 1-1 at the end of the game in extra time. Luke Shaw scored our goal in the final of the Euros. I mean, I'm just so sad for the guys that they didn't get the win, because what a moment that would have... I mean, it was a great moment for Luke Shaw anyway, because that's a brilliant goal that he scored as well. Like, lovely move that. Kane gets it off down the right. The ball's in there. Trippier, it's a great pass. And then it's just a brilliant finish. And off the post, first time volley. Like, it was such a great finish. And he deserved it. He'd had a great tournament as well. Like, he was one of the players of the tournament. In my opinion, the two United players who've played all the time there, most of the time, Luke Shaw, Maguire, were two of the players of the tournament. Sterling, to me, had a great tournament as well. I'd give it to one of those three, probably. It's hard to separate them. I thought they were all brilliant. So yeah. But it looks like we've extended the process or started the process to extend Luke Shaw's contract, guys, which is good news. Which is real good news. Okay, there's one thing I want to talk about as well, guys, before we get into the live chat. Very quickly, which is United are supposedly linked to and interested in Napoli right back Giovanni Di Lorenzo, guys. Obviously, he played a key role in Italy's team throughout the Euro final, actually, playing against us, and he played every minute of their 3 knockout matches. Yeah, I mean, it's just a link. There's some reports coming out to say that Di Lorenzo's performances have not gone unnoticed, and that United are now interested in the guy. He's 27. It's more competition for Aaron Wan-Bissaka there at right back. Basically, there's the Trippier link. We don't know what's going on with Diogo Dalot, Brandon Williams. These guys, obviously they're going to be going out on loan maybe again, Dalot and Brandon, or maybe we'll stick with Dalot. We don't know. Depends which other players come in. But it's supposed to be preparing a £17 million offer for Napoli right back Giovanni Di Lorenzo. This is the reports from various different sources. Okay then, fair enough. If it's a cheap option, if we can get him for some cover there, and as a different option, and as a competition for Wan-Bissaka, then I'm all about that, guys. But I don't really, he was impressive throughout the Euros for Italy. I don't know much about him other than that, guys. Di Lorenzo has scored 7 goals and assisted 15 more in 95 appearances for Napoli, and is expected to start in Sunday's Euro 2020 final. Sorry, this was yesterday, this article, so that's why it says that. But basically, yeah, so he's a player that's linked to today. There's a bunch of other ones as well coming out today to say there's links and reports, but 7 goals and 15 assists in 95 appearances, that goes to show you he is more of a sort of attacking vibe player, I think. Which is good. We watched him a few times in the Euros, but don't know a great deal about him, obviously. But there you go, there is a link there. I just wanted to mention it, guys, because there are some reports coming out that we are linked with Giovanni Di Lorenzo, guys. What do you think about it? Kalichi says Varane news. So there are Varane news, dude. The Varane news is just that, there are a bunch of different reports. Sky Sports here, Rafael Varane. Man United given permission to discuss personal terms ahead of potential move from Real Madrid. So Man United continue talks with Real Madrid. We're understood to have the green light from Real Madrid to discuss terms. And we need to agree a fee with Real Madrid for a price tag, obviously, to try and get this guy in. So, there's nothing too much more on Rafael Varane, really. It's just the same situation, really, apart from, we've got the green light. They are still interested in signing him up. We are putting in, an offer for them, in the process of negotiating a transfer fee. And hopefully it will happen soon, but it's the same situation, really. I mean, there are a lot of different outlets. So Manchester Evening News reporting that United are close to agreeing to personal terms with Rafael Varane today, as they continue to make progress on the transfer for the Real Madrid defender. Sources told Manchester Evening News that we are not far off from finalising the 28-year-old's wage demands. So we've understood to be speaking to him recently, just in regards to wages and things like that, and I guess you have to have a proper agreement in place. So we're just in that process right now, and it's understood that the deal could conclude in a couple of weeks. if we are going to, if we can agree a transfer fee with Real Madrid, guys. So yeah, that's all it is in regards to Rafael Varane. But Sancho is, hopefully coming in a couple of weeks. He's just on holiday, maybe even a week. We'll see. He's just having a little holiday after the Euros. Obviously, much needed, I think, with what's gone on, just the mental drain of losing in the final there. And he will be unveiled in. So that's the big news. He should probably be. Well, I would imagine it's going to be no longer than 2 weeks that we see Sancho at Old Trafford or at Carrington in the setup with United. I think maximum 2 weeks for Sancho, really. Probably have a week off, then it's going to be a few days to fly in, medicals, paperwork, maybe even less than 2 weeks, maybe even a week or 10 days we could see Jadon Sancho at the club. I think Sancho and Varane, says Simon Cowie, are key priorities. Then after that, any link is a hit or miss and just rumours. Yes, Sancho and Varane. Yeah, that's right. I mean, I do think the Camovinga link's a genuine one, but he's just like a young player added to the ranks, really, isn't he? Hey, we smashed 100 likes on the stream. Get in there, everyone. Thanks for hitting that thumbs up button. Come on. Get in there, you legends. Appreciate it. Bacon Brigade Assemble. Oh, you sent me something on Insta, did you? Okay, let's have a look. Vinny Bullock. Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. Thank you for reminding me. I wanted to talk about that, actually. Yeah. United boss Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has revealed that Eric Ramsey's joined the first team coaching staff. The former Chelsea coach will work one-on-one with individual players and also take ownership over training on the side set plays. So that is very important, actually. Thank you very much for sending me that, actually, Vincent, and reminding me there, because I did want to talk about that. Yeah, that's important. Our set plays are gash. Yeah, Simon Cowie says a new set piece coach hired. Yes, that was on my list. I was going to get onto that and I nearly forgot. So thank you, Vincent. Yes, we've got a new set piece coach. That's important because I think defending set pieces have been a big problem for us, and also scoring goals from set pieces have been a big problem for us. So I want to see us get Harry Maguire at the end of and score some more corners, but also defending them was a big problem for us last season. Southgate's up. Okay, I'm just going to get into the live chat for a couple of minutes, guys. Time's marching on a little bit here. But yeah, do us a favor and smash that thumbs up and subscribe if you're new and everything. Batman Night Fan, hello. Great to see you. What's good, Batman Night Fan? I haven't seen you for a bit. I hope you're good. And Longworth says hi as well. Hello to you, Longworth. Also fellow. Okay, so Southgate set up Sancho, played in one game and put him in a massive pen. Crap managing. Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think he got it right in those penalties and bringing them on the last couple of minutes. It makes no sense. He should have brought them on at the start of extra time. Grealish should have come on, 70 mins, 65, 70 mins. And then he should have brought on Sancho and Rashford for extra time. Or certainly one of them at the start and then one of them a bit later, not just a minute before the end of the game. I agree with that. Now, I actually overall think Southgate's done a brilliant job. He's not perfect. He actually had a faultless run to the final, really. We conceded one goal in open play, up to the final there. Very, very... in fact, in overall, we only conceded one in open play, didn't we? So it's a very impressive tournament we had. We just didn't get it quite right at the end. It's so similar to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the Europa League final, isn't it? It's so weird how similar it is and the way they went about it, like the late subs in extra time, not making the subs until right near the end, and the substitute and the penalty takers and stuff. It's kind of really weird how, I mean, it's obviously not, because obviously David De Gea missed it and there was a lot more penalties in the Europa League final. But it is kind of weird, the similarities between their two coaching styles and just how things panned out there. He changed, I think Solskjaer in that final against Italy would have changed to the three at the back system as well and done that also. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I think that's the right thing to do. People, this is what makes me really angry. People keep saying, oh, we should have set up, I can't get behind a manager who's not attacking and doesn't attack with England. But if we'd have gone out and set up attacking with England from the start, we probably wouldn't have got to the final. We'd have probably been picked apart on the counter by some team that is prepared to play a bit more of a gritty defensive style. You can't just play the same way against everybody. You have to mix it up. You have to be defensive. You have to play on the counter against teams who are maybe slightly superior to you in certain, attacking build-up play. Italy had a brilliant tournament. They needed to be respected. And you know what? I think we did the job perfectly throughout the entire game of defending against Italy, more or less. We had the three compact players at the back. We had Luke Shaw there, mopping it up over on that left-hand side, dropping back when we needed, but still providing us with an attacking outlet. And same goes on that other right-hand side as well. I mean, they were targeting that right-hand side a little bit more. But I do think that because we had the three at the back there and the lads dropping back, we had a very compact line there. And Italy really struggled to get any good chances off. They struggled to get in behind and they struggled to find any space for shots, to get the half a yard to have a shot. They struggled. And if we'd have not played that way, if we'd have just played like 4 at the back of 4-3-3, if we'd have matched them and played a 4-3-3, well, yeah, we might have scored more than them, I suppose, but they could have just picked us apart on the counter as well. If we'd have gone super attacking throughout the tournament, England probably don't get to the final. That's how I look at it. We you know, Maguire and Stones at the back, to be leaving them, you know, with players bombing forward, with you know, 4-3-3, let's say, or something like that. And if they do get exposed on the counter, then we've got Maguire and Stones. They're not quick enough. You need more numbers in there. You need Walker in there as well next to him. That helped out massively. You need, you know, the smart. I think it's smart management. It's smart management. You can't approach the same game every way. Griffo Chaz, how you doing, you absolute hero? What's good, you ledge? Yes, exactly. Warm up the bench. Warm up the sub players in the game. Give them a chance. Definitely agree with that. Going in there cold to the penalties is a silly idea. Okay then, guys. I mean, that's basically all the transfer news. Hi there, Daniel Barnes. He says, "Hi, Pig. Will there be a GTA stream tonight?" I don't know. Actually, I think I'm leaning towards GTA tonight, Daniel Barnes, sir. Yeah, and it'll be on Xbox. Yeah, I'm leaning towards that. Anyway, G Wolf United says, "Then Cake, you would be knocked out then." Oh, let's see what the Cake is saying. I'd rather go for it than do this low block shite. Yeah, exactly. Well, England don't have, you know, Maldini and Baresi and these guys at the back to really play like super awesome. You know, we don't have like you know, we don't have like super duper world class defenders. Now, no, that's no disrespect to Stones and Maguire. I think they had a brilliant tournaments. But I'm looking at what they've done over the course of the Premier League, and I don't think you could say that they're up there with the very, very best defenders in world football right now. So if you had a class defence, then that can afford you a little bit more. Remember how or you remember how England used to play when we had you know, Rio and Terry at the back of these guys. They'd save you, and Ashley Cole, and oh my goodness me, they would save you so many blushes, especially like John Terry for England. Like, credit where it's due. Get out the amount of time that guy saved us at the back there. He's not even quick, to be fair, but he was just a fucking great judge of and him and Rio, you know, great defenders. That saves you a lot of problems. It really, really does. But if you've got slightly questionable defenders, then I think it plays into your favour to play a more defensive system like that. I really do. But anyway, look, it's all opinions, isn't it? I'm going to wrap it up there, though, guys. But I really appreciate you all getting in here. Anybody I've not said hello to? Brandon C, Met Gaming as well. Yeah, I hope you have calmed down from last night, K Cadet lad. Nice then, Griffo Chaz. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, it should be around that sort of time, my son. Eddie O2, yes, lad. Thanks for getting in here. And the K Cadet is always calm. Poison Sat, John Smith is correct. England had easiest road to the final ever. Beating Germany 2-0. Is that an easy game? I wouldn't say that Germany's ever an easy game. Okay, the rest of the games, I mean, you know, maybe on paper we should win them. I suppose Denmark, they were a brilliant team in the tournament, though. So you got to take them on face value that they were one of the most dangerous teams in the tournament at the time. Anyway, okay, I'm going to leave it there, but thanks for getting in. Do us a favor before you go. Hit that like button. Come back after this video is finished and get your thoughts in about any of the transfers or anything we've discussed. What do you think is going to happen? Let me know who you think United should sign next. You can also check out the website, unitedflyinghigh.com. Check out that website. Also follow us on social media, Flying Pig United on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Make sure you've subscribed. Make sure you click that bell icon like your name was Quasimodo. Esmeralda the bells! So you get the notifications when we post and we go live as well. You can also give us a follow up on Twitch at Flying Pig United also. Eddie O2, thank you, Rush Bono, Griffo Chaz, and everybody else. Take it easy. This is the Pig, and I will see you on the next one. I don't know what that was, by the way. But take it easy, and everybody, yeah, try and forget about this England shit now. It's Man United coming back now. England's always a heartbreaker. We fucking know that, guys. But we have had a double heartbreak, though, us United fans, us English United fans. Double heartbreak. Lost the penalties in the Europa. I mean, I don't really give a shit about that compared to England, though, just to be honest. Just to be totally honest with you, it's the Europa League. If it was the Champions League, that's a different story. But the Euros comes around what? Well, we've never won it. So that's why it's a heartbreaker, more of a heartbreaker. But we've had a double heartbreak this summer as United fans. So let's forget about it. Okay, hang on. Actually, before I go, sorry, let me just end this poll and see what the winner is. Oh, okay, so who would you want United to sign in midfield? There's a clear winner. It is Eduardo Camovinga, lads and lasses. And on that note, take it easy, everyone. Griffo, G-Wolf, Aaron, Simon, Berber, Rushy, Eddie, Opie Dragon, Rushy, Aaron, All the moderators, much love, and all the non-mods and everybody else who's got it, all the channel members. See you later on, guys. This is the Pig. Come back, have your say in the not live comments afterwards, and I'll keep you up to date with all the latest Man United news as and when it happens. No bullshit, no clickbait guff, just the honest happenings as it's going on, reported to me by reputable sources and researched by myself and legends such as Rashford by reputable sources. So there you go. We won't give you any bullshit unless it's actually happening, guys. See you on the next one. Take it easy. This is the Pig. And come on, United.